Anywhere in the world that you are, you can meet your soulmate or your person. Not trusting, it's because you don't believe that your life plan is unfolding beautifully and perfectly, and you're resisting life, and life starts to be like, what's happening? Because you're resisting. But when you trust, you feel love, you feel peace. And when you trust that removal of someone, you're able to then open up space for something better to come in, and then just keep going on your path, because truly there is a flow of life. And when we can learn to surrender to it, it feels so much easier. If this experience is meant for me and is going to grow me to be my best self and grow the other person to be their highest self, then please let there be a connection here. But if this person is going to hurt me, take me off course, and it's going to be an unnecessary distraction, please close the door now. And this works wonders. And when the door is closed, do not make it about yourself. Know that it is God protecting you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. The problem is that, and I see this with my girlfriends, that God is removing that person from their life, but they cling on to that person. Why do we do this? Why do women do this? When God removes a person from their life, perhaps a man they're dating, but we keep missing them and we keep wanting them and we want to get back to them, but we know that they're not the person God has for us, but you keep chasing them and you keep going and you keep praying about them. What advice would you give for women that are in that position?
For anyone in the position of feeling like you are chasing when a man is being removed from your life or when someone is being removed from your life, is to take a step back and really connect with yourself and with your own self-worth, of knowing that this person is being removed for me, and looking at, how did I feel in this person's presence? What was this dynamic bringing to my life? And asking, like, why would God remove this person? And looking at that. And I think when we can come back to our worthiness and also surrender, like really trusting, life flows so much more when you trust. And clinging, clinging to a person
you're not trusting. Absolutely. And I feel like that's the key issue, that women that keep doing this is you're not trusting. You really are not trusting. And do you think that is tied back with self-confidence and self-love?
1000%. Yeah, when you're not trusting, it's because you don't believe that your life plan is unfolding beautifully and perfectly, and you're resisting life, and life starts to be like, what's happening? Because you're resisting. But when you trust, you feel love, you feel peace. And when you trust that removal of someone, you're able to then open up space for something better to come in, and then just keep going on your path, because truly there is a flow of life. And when we can learn to surrender to it, it feels so much easier.
Absolutely. I just couldn't relate more to you. Even when sometimes I've dated a guy and it felt good at the time, but then God removed him from my life. There's things that you don't understand at the time, but when God removes a person, just know that there's a reason for it. And I always trust, because I know my self-worth. I know that even though God removes a person from my life, I know there's something bigger and better waiting for me. Imagine that you end up spending your life with the wrong person because you were impatient and because you couldn't wait until you met the guy that God had for you, and you decided to settle with that one guy that you were dating, and God tried to keep removing from your life and telling you that he's not the man I have for you, but you kept holding on to that. Imagine how annoying would that be in 10 years time, 15 years time, when you probably end up divorced.
Yes, it is so true. It's so much better to leave a dynamic that is not aligned than to just stay in it because it's
force
comfortable.
It because you like them. Absolutely.
Because there can be good things in a relationship, but it's still not be the relationship for your highest timeline. Like, I was in a 5-year relationship with a really good man. He treated me really well. We had a beautiful life together. And I started to feel this still small voice that was saying, you need to leave the relationship. I was like, I don't really want to listen to that. That doesn't sound like a fun time. But I kept hearing the voice, and I eventually listened. And by leaving this 5-year relationship where I almost got married, almost stayed with this person, we were living together for 4 years, I then opened myself to so much incredible opportunities and meeting men that were so much more aligned for my life. Not to say this man was bad, he just wasn't my...
He's not the man God has for you.
Yes.
And that's it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And like you said, it's so much better to deal with the heartbreak in the short run, because that heartbreak is going to refine you and grow you.
Absolutely.
And then let something else more aligned come in.
Absolutely. I always tell my girlfriends that every guy I date, and this is a chat I had with another podcast guest, I was just telling Bea that I don't know what is it that every guy I date is better than the previous one. I'm like, I just know that each guy I'm dating is closer to my dream man that God has for me. But generally, the previous guys I dated, and if they're listening to this, they're going to feel chuffed. But yeah, I have generally nothing bad to say about them.
Yeah.
Things happen, and in my case, it was a season of my life where I wanted to come to Bali and settle in Bali and do other things, and because our careers just didn't align, and at the end of the day, that's a big thing. And if your future plans don't align together, then that's going to be, and you're not willing to compromise, none of you, because we're in seasons of our lives where both of us were enjoying a season, so we were not really willing to compromise. I always say I've never attracted a narcissist, I've never attracted a manipulative guy, or I've spoken to them, and I feel like after one date, they get to know me, and they know I'm not the girl. Yeah, like they just know she's not the girl. Yeah, exactly. So
it's so true. It's like you will repel the men.
You repel them.
You will repel the guys that want to play games, that want to like hurt you. When you are so confident in your self-worth and know yourself, they just like, they run because they're like, oh, it's not going to work with her. When you show up with that energy and like, you know, okay, this is what I desire in a romantic dynamic, you're just going to know on the first date, and you're not going to entertain. And I think that's what stops you from getting hurt, is by knowing what you're looking for. So then as soon as you go on a date with a man, you know, okay, this small thing is out of alignment with my vision for my marriage and my partnership. So even if there were some good things, I'm going to end it here because this is not in full alignment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, not every person that you date is going to be your future husband.
Yes.
Let me find a way to word this. Dating is good. I always tell people, go on dates, because you learn about yourself and you learn about what you want in a relationship. Now, not every person that you date. Dating doesn't mean sleeping around. It doesn't mean, swiping left and right on dating apps and just going on a date with just anyone and everyone that asks you to go on a date. Yeah. But to me, it's important to be open to dating. Yes. If you meet a guy that aligns with your purpose or aligns with your values and it just feels good at the time, why not go on a date with him? The worst thing that can happen is you make a friend, you make a new friend, or you just have a meal together and have a great conversation. That's it. But I always tell my girlfriends, don't be afraid of dating. And that's something that my mom always tells me, because when I was in the UK, I'm always at home. My mom calls me and she's like, what are you up to? I'm like, literally at home watching a movie. She's like, you're always at home. How are you supposed to meet your future husband? Yeah, she always tells me, you're literally always at home. You're working at home. Your gym is like a 2-minute walk from your home. You have your office at home. If I could have a gym at home, I would have a gym at home as well. Yeah. I tried to turn my conservatory, so it's like a indoor garden, into a gym. But then I moved to Bali. But my mom was like, yeah, if you could just do everything in your home, you would do it. And I get it. You love your home. You got to enjoy your mortgage. But at the same time, my mom is like, you're young. You have to like go out with guys that treat you nicely. Go out for coffee. Go and have a laugh. But always respecting yourself. And dating doesn't mean sleeping around. It does feel like dating is a way of getting to know yourself as well, and getting to know what you want. What is it that you want in a relationship, in a partner?
Yes, I so agree with that. It's so true. It's when each date you go on, you're going to learn more and more about yourself.
Absolutely.
And even if, as you said, not everyone is going to be your future person, and you may know that right off the bat, but if you feel like, okay, God's guiding me to continue dating this person because there's beautiful lessons or beautiful growth or beautiful expansion we're both going to have, then keeping that dynamic going. And I always say like, God, do you want me to continue dating this person? Is this a dynamic that's in alignment? I don't feel like this is my person, but do you want me to keep dating this person? And there's been times where I've dated someone for multiple months, not sleeping with them because that's not in alignment for me.
We can talk about that.
We can
as
talk
well.
about that.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, not sleeping with them, but exploring the expansion that both of our souls are having, the up level that both of our souls are having by being in one another's presence, and it being a beautiful experience. And as you said, we always end on good notes where I'm still friends with the people. Like all the guys I've been on a date with in the past year, like reach out to me. They texted me like, "How's Bali?"
Beautiful endings.
Beautiful
like
endings.
That's the
like
thing.
a
That
friendship. Yeah.
absolutely. Like not every guy that you date is gonna turn into your husband or a toxic. Like, please, ladies, let's calm down. Sometimes you just go on a date, have fun, and then it just doesn't work. But it's a beautiful ending.
It's a beautiful ending.
One of my friends, Tanya, always says, when you're dating someone, when you date a man, you shouldn't have sex with them within the first 3 months. So she has this rule where she's like, in 3 months you should, or in the first months you should not have sex with them, because she always says that sex and your body is a temple, and it's something that is very precious. You don't want to share that with anyone and everyone. You should only share that with the man that you finally decide to commit to. What are your views on the current dating culture, sadly, where when someone like me says, I don't support one-night stands, or I don't support casual dating, I don't support casual sex, and we get looked at and we get, like, people laugh at us, but then things like having occasional sex with someone you've just met, or having multiple sexual partners at the same time, those things are normalized. But then people that are dating intentionally and, doing things how we do them, we are actually we are actually the ones being judged. So what is your take on that?
I think if women get really honest with themselves about when they are ready for intimacy with a man, most women would want to wait when they really tune in and think like, do I feel safe with this person?
Absolutely.
Do I feel connected to this person? And as a woman, taking your time to really get clear on when your body feels ready and not pushing yourself and not doing anything that you're not ready for. And that will also give you so much insight into the person that you are dating, because if that upsets them or if they don't like that, that shows that that dynamic is not in alignment, because a person that truly loves you and cares for you will want to be with you for your spirit, for your soul. Just being in your presence will light them up, and they'll want to wait until you're ready.
There's something I wanted to talk to you about, which is related to dating, and it's Bali dating culture. So I've only been to Bali. This is my 3rd month in Bali now. And there's something that I keep hearing about. And it's all my girlfriends always say that it's very hard to date in Bali because no one here is here looking for a serious relationship. And everyone is just either looking for a fling or looking for like short-term dating. But in a nutshell, men in Bali, this is what my friends say, that men in Bali are not serious about dating, and it's hard to find someone that dates with purpose and is looking for a relationship, for a committed relationship.
While that may be true for some people's experiences, to become really clear with what you desire and with what you want, because whatever your vision is for your relationship, you will call that in. And by aligning yourself with the dynamic that you're so excited to call in and consistently coming back to that, you will call that in. And if you fill your mind with the chatter and the gossip of everyone saying like, Bali's not a great dating culture, and if you're listening to that and then indulging in those conversations and entertaining them and repeating them, that is going to become ingrained in your mind. And our minds are very malleable. So what we say, what we think becomes what we see in our reality. And so when I personally hear people saying things like that, I don't even speak out any sort of energetic engagement in that conversation. I just immediately shift it to the positive of a great dating experience, or just reminding them that their beliefs shape the reality. And anywhere in the world that you are, you can meet your soulmate or your
Absolutely.
person. It's about where your spirit is aligned with and what you believe over your life. And you're going to see that in your reality. And I will spend like 10 minutes a day just visualizing the beautiful partnership, feeling it. What does it feel like to be in this person's presence? What does it feel like to have this connection? And rooting myself in that. And I know that when the time is right, God will bring that in.
So I'm sure there's a lot of women listening to this right now, myself included, that we are like praying to God for our dream man, and we're visualizing it. We are, you know, thinking about how he makes us feel, and we talk to God about him. But I feel like that can easily become an obsession for some women. And I've seen that happen with my girlfriends that are a couple months ago when we started the year and we're doing our mood boards or prayer boards, as I call them. And my friends were like, I want a relationship. This is the kind of relationship I want. This is what I want to feel. But I feel like they put way too much focus on that. And it kind of becomes not an obsession, but it becomes the primary thing that you're constantly thinking about. And I always tell my girlfriends, God will never give you something that you're going to turn into your God. So if you're constantly praying for a relationship and praying and manifesting and every morning and you're doing everything and that's your biggest desire right now, I just feel like God is not going to give it to you at the time. He will never give you something that you're going to be absolutely obsessed with and you're going to replace God with. What's the thin line between manifesting and having fun with it, but not letting that consume your life?
When it comes to calling in your dream partner in a dream relationship and that fine line between obsession and then naturally letting it in and
Absolutely.
naturally letting it into your life, it's to look at, am I actually ready for a relationship right now? Are there areas of myself that need tending to, that need love? Like for myself right now, I know it is working on my business and my career and my love for myself. And God has spoken that over me. So while I may simultaneously desire a partnership, I'm not going to start trying to manifest this over and over again because I realize there's other areas of my life that need love and that God is calling. So I think it's like really getting still and really looking at, where am I actually supposed to be placing my energy right now? An energy of wanting cannot coexist with an energy of having. So if you're constantly wanting, it pushes away the having of the relationship. But when you can connect with feeling surrender and feeling grateful for what is, that's when you allow in. So in your visualizations, feeling like you have it, but not feeling like you want it or need it, and then detaching from it. So that's, I feel like, yeah, as you said, with some of
I love
people that you
so
know
much.
that are consistently coming back to, I want the relationship, I want it. That energy of obsession doesn't allow it to come in. There's no space for it. Like energy is so real. It's our whole universe. And so aligning yourself with the energy of gratitude for what you have, gratitude for the life that is, and gratitude for being with yourself.
Essentially, everything goes back to self-worth.
Yeah.
And I feel like for the women that are constantly obsessed with wanting to be in a relationship, maybe you need to step back and ask yourself, why is it that you desperately want a relationship and want to be in a relationship? Because most of the times you can find those things within yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to give those things to yourself first before you look for them somewhere else. To wrap up our conversation, which I absolutely loved, I feel like there's so many things I've learned about myself and so many things I want to tell my friends about our conversation. Lara, what words would you like to share to any woman that's listening to this right now that feels stuck, probably is constantly doubting herself, and is ready to step into the most confident self and become their dream woman?
Start changing the way that you are speaking to yourself and the ways that you are viewing yourself. Even if it doesn't feel like reality, force your mind to catch every time you say something negative to yourself, force yourself to stop, take that thought captive and change it. Change it to something that you love about yourself, change it to something that you admire about yourself. And with time, each day, those little micro changes to your mind are going to build new neural pathways that allow you to see yourself differently and start showing up with more confidence. And even if it feels challenging, just keep doing it over and over again. And with time, it'll compound, because just like going to the gym and working out your muscles each day,
Absolutely.
you need to be training your mind for confidence and self-love. People think that confidence is just something that's natural, but no, it's just like building a really healthy body. It takes consistency. Start dreaming big about your future.
Love that.
Think about, like, what does my ideal future look like? Who is my highest self? And even if it's difficult to fully form, again, just like it's a practice, each day, start writing it out, really start connecting to this future vision. And then each day, like, what little step can I take towards this future vision of myself? And then with the limiting beliefs, rewiring those, catching them, writing out new ones, saying new things to yourself. And those two things over time are going to completely change everything for you.
Lara, thank you so much. This was a fabulous conversation.
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much, Abby. I'm so grateful to you. It was so beautiful. Your energy is so magnetic and
I feel
so
like
uplifting.
I just feel so uplifted right now. I feel like you dropped so many gems that are gonna uplift so many women.
Thank
And
you.
where can people find you, Lara?
They can find me on my Instagram, which is at Lara, Lara, and then Gideon, Gideon, or my TikTok, which is also at Lara Gideon as well.
Lara, thanks for an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Abby.